Salutations, everybody. Oh, jeez. It is Maddie here today, and for those of you who are celebrating the holiday, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. A lot of times I like to just sit down and connect with my audience because I think it's really important to make sure that I'm not just a person churning out content, but that we can have this human interaction between one another. Kind of the theme of this video is going to go along with the holiday. I just really want to give you guys some thanks and love, so if you'll just sit here and let me splurge about you for a couple minutes, I'd really appreciate that. In all seriousness, this has been a really trying year for me. Not on like an emotional level, it's been stressful as all hell, but there's been a lot going on behind the scenes when the camera's off. One thing, for example, is my grandmother's health has really gradually declined, and that's been hard to watch. And between that and I got this new wonderful puppy named Revan, love him to death. Yes, I named him after the main character of KOTOR. And while that was such a wonderful thing to take on, it's been really hard to balance with something on the complete other end of the spectrum, and because of that I've had to drop a ton of hobbies such as martial arts or studying Japanese. These were things that I was really passionate about, and eventually it sort of narrowed down my life to watching the dogs or working, occasionally going out, much less than I ever have before, hanging out with my girlfriend. Like, my life went from this to this in a short number of months. And I'm not saying any of this to complain or for pity. I'm doing just fine. I've handled it well. It was very trying, but I figured it all out. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because I just wanted to thank you all for blessing me with a job that is fun. That's something I legitimately look forward to every day, something I can be excited about, because I just think of it in a world where these circumstances are happening. You know, my life really just gets shrunken down, and a lot of hard things really hit me right in the face. We've had multiple deaths in the family. It's been tough. And if I just had to go work a job I didn't feel passionate about, I think things would be a lot tougher. But a lot of my work time has been very therapeutic. It's been enjoyable, and it's because of the interactions we've had together. I get really interactive in the comments. I love hitting like the heart button on some of my favorites. I think that's a great feature that YouTube introduced. I love interacting with the patrons on the Discord, and I just overall am really happy with how things are going here on the channel. You know, this last half of the year, I sort of got a shot in the arm on the channel. Like, things have been going really well, better than I think I've really ever seen them in a long while, and it's just kind of mind-boggling because I thought at one point I hit a ceiling, and now I feel like, wow, there's so much more room to grow, and I get these bigger ideas. As a lot of you saw, I got my studio space, and we're really still furnishing that out and building that out, and you'll see more productions out of that in the coming year. But I'm just so happy with where things are career-wise and really life-wise, because everything can't be perfect, but a lot of that's in thanks to all of you for making this such a welcoming environment. I don't feel uncomfortable sitting in front of the camera. I don't get too nervous dishing out hot takes and opinions on games, because I think I've cultivated a fan base in an atmosphere where it's like, hey, we can have different thoughts, but that's okay. I never really see harassment or attacking in my comment section or in my communities, and I'm proud of that because I think all of us share this same feeling about the approach to games, and we just want to see games move forward. Without, of course, constantly repeating myself, I think one show that I started that really epitomizes what I'm talking about is actually BFGF AFK. I know it's a little bit of a corny name, but I really like it, kind of low-key. But it's a show that my girlfriend and I run that we recently launched, and I think it just really solidifies and symbolizes as well the connection I have with my audience. You know, it's a very interactive show. It's a open book show where we tackle various non-gaming topics and we give our honest opinion on them. So we've talked about stuff like social media, skipping school, we've talked about anxiety, depression, we talked about video games that do heal us, things that have brought us through a really tough time. And we also read stories from the audience that people are open to share. And you can, of course, submit anonymously, but regardless, it's a show that really, as I said, symbolizes the connection we have. And I wanted to make sure that amidst all the growing, all the changes that have sort of hit the channel here in, here out, that it's not lost on me how blessed I am and how great things are, and that you deserve the, I could hug you guys. Come here, come here. If I end up going to PAX this year, I'll let you guys know. I want to meet as many of you as possible and give you guys a bunch of hugs, even if it's like 10 of you that show up, because in the scheme of things, I don't know if like I'm the Mr. Meet and Greet kind of guy, like that a lot of people show up for, but still, I mean, I'll keep you guys posted. That's something that I'd love to do. Myself and a lot of other YouTubers are looking into going there, so maybe we'll have like a giant meet and greet, maybe a panel. Anyway, I just want to make sure I'm dishing out all the hugs to you guys whenever I get the chance to shake in your hands, because that's like the next step of the connection. This year, another thing I couldn't do was go to literally any events. Like I traveled to press events for coverage because it was important to the channel, but when it came to like E3, PAX, things I really like to go to, QuakeCon I went to for the first time last year, my travel kind of shrunk down as well. So it was kind of tough, I'll be honest. It was scary because in an industry where you can just get passed by like that, and you really have to be in the know and constantly connected and constantly going to these events, it showed me that I can do some coverage from home for sure, and that's been great to realize. But it also taught me that you guys have my back, and that I can kind of ease the pressure off myself a little bit and get a little more comfortable here. Enough of all this. I think I've splurged enough. Most of you have probably eye-rolled your way out of here, but for those of you who stuck around, mwah, I love each and every single one of you. Once again, if you're celebrating, I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and I'll talk with all of you soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.